Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome, Adepts, Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And we are diving into the High Republic. We just went over the summary of what happens in the High Republic and their highs and lows. Now we're getting into a little bit more of what organizations and battles and stuff like that. So to dive into said High Republic, we kind of need to know the organizations that happen that are active in the High Republic, specifically in the story of the books and everything.
Yeah.
So obviously we already know about the Jedi. I'm not going to really dive into much of the Jedi Order during this time because it's just the Jedi Order itself.
Yeah.
We kind of covered it last 2 episodes, honestly, because it's just, hey, they're just more of them. They're more piecing.
They're a bit more out there in the galaxy and not clustered up in
Coruscant.
Galactic politics and whatnot.
Correct. Right.
They're actually out there trying to help people.
Yes. They're not being taken orders from someone. So today we're diving into part 1. I believe I have part of 3 of the Path of the Open Hand, which is a fairly this organization is literally the meat and grinding of the High Republic. Organization
it's the main antagonist.
is the main antagonist group that eventually evolves into a bigger group that comes out later. Technically,
it evolves into the Nihil.
Yeah. So, to dive right into it, I guess, we're going to start with their philosophy. So, the Path of the Open Hand was an extremist cult whose fundamental belief. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, fundamental belief was that no one with Force sensitivity should use or manipulate the Force. They believed doing so abused and hurt the Force, disrupting the balance of the galaxy itself. Furthermore, the path itself, or believed that the Force would always seek to balance itself. In their opinion, if one used the Force to save lives, at least that many lives would be taken away somewhere else in the galaxy.
Which is not how it works.
No, it's not how that works, and it's a very flawed belief.
Yeah.
Because they say that, but have they witnessed it?
No.
How can you say that and not witness something like that? And if someone was saved by a Force user, Jedi or whatnot, and then the next day someone dies, doesn't mean that was the will of the Force.
No.
Or the Force did that to do that.
Someone was saved here, so I gotta kill someone over there.
Yeah, that's not how that works. So in effect, any use of the Force would create an unforeseen consequence. These beliefs developed into an inherent resentment and antagonism towards the philosophically opposed the Jedi Order and most prominent group in the galaxy that used the Force. They believed that the Jedi were the source of much of the misfortune and peril of the galaxy because they thought that they used the Force consistently, selfishly, and with the abandon and brought it out of balance.
No, it's definitely not all the pirates and thugs and murderers throughout the galaxy.
Right. Yeah, that's totally not the reason why people die. It's definitely because the Jedi are using the Force. Whatever. So with that in mind, if a Force user did join the path, they would need to suppress their connection to the Force and refuse to call upon it. Another critical part of the belief that no one should have access to Force artifacts and weapons or use their powers. Because of this, they had a subgroup called the Children that liberated, quote-unquote, or stole these items that were held by the path for safekeeping. The other main belief of the cult was that they should provide each other with the Force would provide for them in return.
Yeah, liberated my butt. Later on, these Force artifacts would be sold off to collectors.
Yeah. So the members of the cult often supported each other without asking or anything in return, but would also willingly give to non-members as well. They referred to the acts or resources they gave to each other and outside people as gifts freely given. They often used this tactic to recruit members, giving those that were suffering gifts and support in hopes that they would join the cult's comfort and security.
Now, gifts given freely, that sort of philosophy, not expecting anything in return, not a bad idea, not a bad idea.
Yeah. At
Helping
first.
out. Yeah.
The Force icon was a symbol comprised of 3 wavy blue lines. Now, the path of the open hand would represent the Force. They would mark their faces, usually their foreheads, with Barackle shell blue paint in the shape of the icon, worn every day. Path members also wore plain gray robes with occasional blue or brown accents.
Yeah, those wavy lines would eventually become like
Terror.
lightning bolts. I
Mm-hmm.
think, like eventually
Yeah,
become
something like
lightning
that.
bolts.
The children wore green and gold robes. The name of the cult stemmed from the gift given freely beliefs, believing that they would always extend an open hand to others, instead of a closed one that took selfishly. Because of this belief, most of the members lived in a communal compound on the planet Dalna, where they operated self-sufficiently. Well, okay. I mean, at least they were self-sufficient, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a commune.
Yeah.
Wait, commune.
Yeah. Something like right? Commune?
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Anyway, yeah. So, okay, their
And they
philosophy
kept to themselves for the most part on that planet too.
that well, at least on their compound.
Yeah.
When until they go out, gives quote unquote gifts so they can radicalize and have people join the cult and all that stuff. But yeah, their entire philosophy is so flawed. Like, there's no proof that someone using the Force would then take someone's life. Like, there's no proof of that. Like, how can you prove something like that happens if, say, for an example, you're not Force sensitive? Which most of these people in this cult aren't Force sensitive at all.
No. Although with the Sith, how they use the Force, it does take a toll on them personally. The way they use it.
Yeah, but they're bending the Force to their own will, which then corrupts themselves, which shows the corruption, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah, but that also shows how if the Force is abused, it takes it out on that person.
Correct. Yeah. Hence the red eyes and the sunken face and all that stuff when it comes to dark side wielders. Shadowed eyes. All right, so now moving into their militant transformation, which, yeah, they're all peaceful until they grow somewhat of a military force. Woohoo! So in time, the once peaceful path would become a militant faction under the leadership of Electra Zephyron, aka the Mother, who urged the followers to take up arms against the Jedi in the name of the Force, and Guide of the Open Hand, Marda Rowe, who would reform the path into Path of the Closed Fist, when she believed the dream of an open hand had failed.
Bull. Can we get into a little spoilers about this woman?
Sure.
This woman is taking out her frustrations against the Jedi because her sister was chosen and not her.
As in, you mean as a Force wielder?
Yeah, well, that and being picked by the Jedi.
Oh,
her sister was picked and she wasn't, and now she's starting the galaxy's biggest hissy fit.
And it does. Oh, does it have ramifications for the galaxy? So older members of the path would become willing to sacrifice themselves as one last gift given freely in a living shield, while even the young trained for battle instead of farming. Indeed, whereas the mother once promised to Alex Greylark that the path was not a violent people and only detested those who abused the Force, an enraged mother quickly ordered the execution of his mother, Greylark, when his usefulness ran out.
Yeah. I think, yeah,
Yeah,
she was a
that's
supreme counselor.
yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, oh, we're a peaceful group. Oh, you're not useful to me. Yeah, your mother's dead. Like what? That's a complete 180.
Yeah.
So Jedi Knight Gala Natea,
Natia.
Natia suspected the people who tried to leave the path would be executed on the charge of treason. Members of the path who acted as warriors became known as path soldiers and path guards. Which, yeah, oh, this is extreme. They went
Yeah.
real quick. So even before the
0 to 60 in no time flat.
uh-huh. So even before the formation of the Closed Fist under Roe, the Mother's leadership established a militant path, eager for combat to the Jedi in their supposedly tyrannical rule over the Force, which, first off, no. One pamphlet distributed by the Path in the time spoke fighting evil and the need to oppose unnatural practices, urging fellow Adalnan residents to join the coming battle. As mentally noted by child member Yana Rowe, the writing made a change to the core Path tenet. While it still mentioned that freedom of the Force, it also made reference to establishing justice and purity within the Force, which Yana took as a sign that the Path was eager to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's oh.
There was. Does it mention in here? Okay, maybe I'll talk about that a little later on.
Okay. But yeah, this gets things change real quick, real fast, and mind you, this is in phase 2 of the High Republic novels. Because phase 1 is like obviously getting into the High Republic, the Nihil, like the main faction antagonist of phase 1, where phase 2 is where they introduce the prequel to phase 1.
They love doing that.
Yeah.
Go like
Well,
middle of the story,
were
then
like
to the beginning, and then to the end.
well, they were trying like they used how they did the phases was in turn like how what George Lucas did for the films.
Oh yeah.
Where hey, you get the original trilogy, then he made the prequels, and then Disney came with the sequels. So it is what it is. But yeah, the Path is not fun. So
yeah, it goes off the rails.
Oh god, yeah. And by the way, like where was it? Oh god. Yeah, tyrannical rule over the Force. First off, the Jedi aren't the only ones who use the Force.
No, there are multiple groups on Jeddah
Yeah.
who can use the Force, but not to the same degree as the Jedi, though.
Yeah, but regardless, they use the Force.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Jedi are the only Force sensitives in the galaxy. That's not how that works.
No.
So what?
Yeah, it just reminds me of that one commercial. You got three old ladies who one of them's posting pictures on a wall and said, "I'm posting on Facebook. I unfriend you," and the other one says, "That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works."
Right. So indeed, the language of "quote unquote" evil and tyranny, clearly written in reference to the Jedi Order, concerned her, as did watching the one moderate elder Dinubi spread words of condemnation. Condemnation. Is that how? Am I saying that right?
Condemnation.
Condemnation. Okay, I was right. In judgment towards those who ignore the plight suffered by the Force, his words made no reference to the gifts given freely the cult had once prided itself upon, which shows you that they changed real quick in their philosophy. So the
Oh yeah.
past's internal language also changed, with names like brothers and sisters being applied to cult membership. The mother also preached that the whole galaxy was in crisis thanks to the Force usage of the Jedi and those akin to the Order, further claiming that the Republic and HoloNet could not be trusted. Instead, she urged her followers to stay vigilant and spread the truth themselves. Shortly thereafter, Rove formally transformed the cult into the path of the closed fist, urging its membership to protect and liberate the Force altogether instead of failing or falling into internal division.
Yeah. So Yana Rowe, I think she might have been a little force sensitive, if I remember correctly. But she used a
I
particular.
I think she was.
But
I
I
don't
remember
remember.
she used a species that were reviled across the galaxy because they were like either warlike or
Yeah,
they
she was
brought
in
bad luck.
Everanini. Everanini.
Yeah, and she
Everanini.
and she just took all that hatred she had and just at some point just usurped the mother and just started everyone become militant at some point. Even the mother lost control, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. It's like, wow,
I
this is
don't.
militarizing faster than I thought it was possible.
I don't know if she was. I don't think she was force sensitive.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's not saying that she is. Whatever. All right. Where was I? All right. So, nonetheless, the mother's corruption and Rose's rise to power would culminate in the cult breaking apart amid its new military focus, and with the so-called closed fist forming in the name of the waging war against the Jedi. As Roe put it, they would deliver change by force with a closed fist instead of open offerings. Losing much of their influence over the cult, the elders, meanwhile, remained dedicated to the open hand and abandoned Dona as Roe's new faction waged its war.
Yeah, okay, so there was a battle on Dalna, the planet,
Mm-hmm.
in the tunnels and open plains a little bit between the Jedi, some Republic forces, the local people who got sick and tired of these guys, and then the cult. The cult had a bunch of weapons stored away somehow, and the Jedi would cut the weapons and leave the cult members alive, which would then cause them to go run back to the caves, grab more weapons, and come right back out.
Yeah, it also shows that the Jedi are peacekeepers, like
Yeah,
during this time, but they're not warriors. They're still
yeah.
monks,
And
so they
also, there
try
was
not to kill.
some Jedi caught the elders trying to evacuate on a shuttle with a bunch of relics.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even some of the militant faction caught the elders. Some of them got caught. Some of them got off planet. I mean, it was a mess at the end. It was a real mess.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, not at all.
Yeah.
Like this entire phase two is a mess. And like by a mess, I mean not like written poorly or anything. I
No.
mean like so much crap happens, so much terrible things happen, and real quick too. Like from one book to the next, it's just a snowball.
Bam, 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 bam. Especially after the Battle of Jeddah.
Oh god, and that's its own thing. So let's take a quick mid break, thank our patrons, and we'll be right back with more of the Path of the Open Hand. All right. Welcome to the Middle Show. We're talking about everything with podcasts. Has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, we want to thank all our amazing listeners and patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocron histories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment and read out the next time on the show, which we don't have any this week. So, all right. Just leave us some fun Spotify comments. That's it. And then you can also find us in a few different Discord servers. The Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcast in Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that we host, which are the Dragon Ball Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, Wizard World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. News-wise,
And breathe.
there's not really any news per se as of recording. We had the Stony State of Play. Nothing Star Wars related came out of that, which was sad, which I kind of
Not
expected.
a lot came out of State of Play.
That I cared for. A lot came out of it, just not that I cared for, except for Wolverine. Wolverine was awesome.
Eh.
I'm excited for Wolverine. I love Insomniac. I really like all their games. Spider-Man's phenomenal. So,
Spider-Man was okay.
how dare you? Just okay?
Yes, just
How
okay.
dare you? That's a whole different topic. But yeah, hopefully we'll hear something really cool on Jeff Keighley's show on Friday. Hopefully it's a 2-hour long live stream of game announcements, so hopefully we'll see something Star Wars related there, or things that we care for. Final Fantasy.
They're not going to make up
Don't-
17 yet. It's
No,
too early.
it's not 17. Part 3 of 7. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Part 3 of
I didn't play-
7.
I didn't play part 2.
You
I
didn't
barely
play
played part
Rebirth?
1.
Oh, it's
I-
so good. It's
I
so
don't even
good.
think I finished part 1.
How dare you? Remake is
Well,
great.
it's just so linear. It pissed me off. When it said Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was like, oh, it's going to be the entire game. No, it was
No.
just the city of Midgar.
Yes.
There was no information.
You do know why it's so long, right? Why these games are
Yeah,
it's going to be
yes,
in 3
because
parts, right?
Yeah, because it's graphically updated. Granted, yes, but
That not just that. The original creator, who is the director on said game, cut out over he cut out like 40% of the original game that he originally had in mind when they were making it originally back on the PS1.
But here's the thing. We paid for a full game and only got a third of a game.
But they added so much more.
It's a third of a game.
It's a third of the original game, but added with more game.
It's a third.
Anyway,
of
we're
the
not going to have
game.
this discussion and argument on this podcast. That's a whole different podcast. That's one of my other podcasts, by the way. Go listen to the Final Fantasy Lorecast. It's great. It's a great time. But yeah, we'll hopefully we'll hear something there. Supposedly though, there's a lot of rumors going around that Cal Kestis, they're going to be announcing the 3rd Jedi game at some point here soon. Supposedly, or I know they did.
So.
They did say like Cal they have a lot more stories for Cal Kestis beyond Jedi 3.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
I was so hoping he'd be. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
What, be dead at the end of the game?
No, Mandalorian.
It's like, how dare you?
No, Mandalorian Grogu.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, we'll see. Who knows what happens with all that stuff? So, but stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll have more news for everyone next week when it comes to Summer's Game Fest, and maybe they'll announce stuff for Star Wars. Hopefully, KOTOR remake. Doubt it, but who knows? I did get a little mad today on the State of Play because there was a game right before they showed the game. It says Saber Interactive. It's like, oh, I got super excited for a second, and then you see a car, and I was like, damn it.
Oh, was that Hollywood?
It's Hollywood Stunt, which they haven't done since the PS2.
Yeah.
That was a game that was back on the PS2, and that was a lot of fun. Because you did all the stunt races and stunt stuff with cars as a stunt man that you worked for Universal Studios, which is really cool. So,
excuse me.
but all right, let's get back into more of the Path of the Open Hand. All right, so now we're getting a little bit more into the actual organization of the Path of the Open Hand, not just their militant transformation and their philosophy. So the path of the open hand was led by the Council of Elders and a herald who presided over the council. Elders were the wisest and usually the oldest members of the path who helped guide the other members. Eventually, many years after its founding, the path would have an additional leader in the form of a mother who led the path with visions of the Force and managed to secure control of the cult for herself.
So
AKA,
hang on,
she's
hang
force
on.
sensitive and using this to gain power inside organization so she can, be all powerful because she's human and greed.
So she's using a force in a cult that demonizes
Uh-huh.
using the force.
And she has so-called force visions. And it's like, oh, it's fine because she's not using the force to save others. She's using it to see through the visions and see the future and crap.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty what's the word I'm looking for?
Double
Okay.
standard.
Yeah, I guess it's a double standard or heretical.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. They're being hypocrites. That's what it is. So the mother also founded and presided over a subgroup of the path called the Children, who traveled across the galaxy to steal Force artifacts and bring them back to the path compound. Youngling members of the path of the open hand were called Littles and were watched over the elders and members that they chose. Martero would be named Guide of the open hand with the mother's blessing.
Yeah,
So
when she named her,
she uses children to steal artifacts because who's going to
kill
look
children.
Anakin but but who's gonna look at a child and is like, oh, you're the culprit? Very few people, very few. But yeah. So the path's corruption into the closed fist created a degree of strife within the ranks, whereas Roe formed the closed fist and would be joined the Herald and the Mother, who both clung onto power by joining her effort. The Elders of the Open Hand escaped the Battle of Dona, abandoning the closed fist in name of the Open Hand. As Elder Yulong Onin put it, the chaos of the battle represented something other than the open hand he believed in. Indeed, he found that he had lost all power over his supposed followers, although at least the one path guard, a Sakian path member, and a grouping of shuttles remained at the Elder's disposal.
Yeah, the Herald and the Mother were duking it out for control over the cult, and then eventually Roe's like, "Nah, screw you both. I'm taking control."
Yeah, it's bloody.
Yep.
Plain and simple. If there was blaster burns could actually leave blood, but they don't. Anyway, so while he hoped to see the path win the battle, he no longer saw his members as belonging to the same group as he. During the battle, Path Enforcer droids also turned on the organic Path members, including the old woman who did not wish to fight, but instead find her granddaughter. Path members who took part in the battle did so in the name of the Closed Fist, according to chants overheard by Alex Greylark. But Krong Greylark, even after Axel reported on what he had seen amongst the ranks, that only some of the path had morphed into the new group.
No, not some.
It was
I want
almost
to say
all.
good. I
It
want to
was a
say
good
70 to
70%.
80%.
Yeah, I would agree. A good majority of them changed
Well,
to the Closed Fist.
I think they got a lot of people during Jeddah to join them and brought them to Dala.
I thought was this before or after Jeddah?
This is after Jeddah.
This is
Because there was
Jeddah.
the riots on Jeddah.
Oh, that's right. Because the Jeddah were still proposed as the open hand because they were trying to get onto the conclave of the Force.
Yeah.
But that didn't work, so they chose, hey, we're just going to take them out forcefully.
Yeah, well, on Jeddah, they started a riot and essentially accused the Jedi of doing some stuff, and that got everybody riled up.
Even though the Jedi didn't do nothing.
Yeah. And
they
so
were
I'm guessing they're
completely harmless. Wasn't it during the peace treaty between
Yeah, the 2 planets.
Yeah, they both start with an E, and I cannot remember their names. It's on my head right
Neither
now.
can I. It's so they're such weird names.
They are. There's a lot of weird names in High Republic, let's be honest. You guys thought words are hard, you should look up some words in Star Wars. Hence why I might not be the best person to pronounce them. Anyway, so now getting into their history, and today we're just going to go over their origins of history. So, sometime by 483 BBY, the Path of the Open Hand was founded by a man named Sakar Rald, who had once been a member of the Guardians of the Wills, but left when his beliefs conflicted with their ways. He was cast out by them and attempted to find himself within the Force. So, okay, or the Guardians of the Wills, which is another group during this time, to where they are, you know, if you know the Guardians of the Wills, they also have the Book of Wills,
Yeah.
which is a book of the Force.
Yeah.
You
They also
also
protected
see.
the Temple of Kyber,
Yep.
which probably had the second most Kyber deposit
Mm-hmm. Which
outside of
Ilum.
Ilum.
Was
Yeah.
that Temple of where was Temple of Kuiper located again?
Jeddah.
Okay, it was Jeddah. Okay. Which you wouldn't think of that when you go to Jeddah and Jeddah Survivor. Or see Rogue One. I was like, wait, Kyber crystals were here? What? It's a
Yeah, I
desert
mean,
planet.
Kyber crystals are kind of scattered throughout the galaxy, but the
Mm-hmm.
highest concentration is on Ilum.
Yeah, because it's essentially the entire fucking planet. As we see in became Starkiller Base, for crying out loud. So he was led away from his former priesthood by a vision of a bright blue light that led him to the planet Dona, which was free of war and suffering. There he founded the Path of the Open Hand. The cult developed a compound on the planet, utilizing its caves. They lived self-sufficiently there, with the members supporting each other and living off the land. See,
Yeah.
that's nice. See, I
Yes,
don't mind this. Like him starting this. It wasn't a cult. It's just a group that he had that wanted to devote themselves to the Force.
yeah, it starts out nice.
Yep. So many years later, a woman named Electra Zephyron from the Core Worlds arrived at the Path as a refugee, like the rest of the Path. She was welcomed and subscribed in the cult and slowly learning their ways. Eventually, Zephyron supposedly had a vision, just like Sakar Rold, of a blue light. However, she claimed the light she saw was in the form of a messenger made of pure force. She said that it taught her how to share life and listen and be one with the Force, so much that one day her small garden had bloomed overnight. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I'm
The
not here
path,
to manipulate them.
right? The path began to believe that her harmony with the Force was so pure that it flowed out of her and into anyone around her. Because of this and more visions that she had apparently continued to have, she had allowed it to help lead the path despite not qualifying as an elder. The path came to believe she had been sent by the Force to guide them. Okay, this is where things started going downhill because she had one vision and then she's apparently having others, which clearly, can't say or not. Like, did she have more visions? She could have. Or she could have just said she had visions just to manipulate all of them to gain power and control said cult.
Yeah.
Which she does. So she took the title of the Mother and officially became one of the Path's leaders, taking the position of leadership from the Herald, Wreath Ploth, who agreed to let her take control, and remained their herald. In time, however, she would desire to take back control of the Path. She worked alongside the Council of Elders. Everyone who took part of the Path listened when she spoke, young littles and elders alike. In secret, however, the Mother was a skilled con artist who freely used the Force herself, using mind tricks to get her way and lying about receiving visions because she could guarantee her power. What? She lied and used the Force? Like, they're not supposed to?
Shocker.
So Zeveron's anger stemmed from how her sister, Ovana Zeveron, had been taken into the Jedi Order as a child, but her own Force abilities were not strong enough for the Jedi to consider her. Insulted, the mother clung to the anger she felt towards the Jedi well into her adult life, believing they had not taken her seriously in developing a plan to usurp control over the galaxy via the path and to enact her revenge. Okay, so you were right on the back and before the mid break. You were right
Yeah,
about the reasoning. You were wrong about the person.
I was.
You said it was Ro, not Marta Ro. It was her, the cousin. You thought it was her, but it was the mother's
No,
sister.
yeah, that's why I said the mother got
Oh,
pissed.
did you?
And
I thought you said
yeah,
Ro.
no, no, no. Ro
I thought
was.
you said
I
Vana
thought
Ro.
Ro was force sensitive,
Oh, okay.
not jealous of her
Oh,
sister or whatever.
oh,
No,
okay.
the
Gotcha,
mother
gotcha.
was jealous of her sister.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like dark side tendencies there.
Oh yeah, good. Give in to your hatred. Let it
Good,
empower you. And
good.
I thought the sister was the one who had the force shield.
The what?
The the there in the second phase there was a Jedi who had a shield.
I don't remember. It's been a minute.
Yeah, yeah, there was one.
Dude, I
But
read these
yeah.
books when they came out. The Phase 2 came out like 3, 4 years ago,
Ugh, starting to
something
feel
like
old,
that.
man. Stop it.
Old. Go play KOTOR 1 when it came out. Like I
I
did.
still do, but I can't. It's.
I played it
I
when it
want to
released.
play it.
I still
I
have
want
my
to play
original
it, but
copies.
unfortunately, I always have trouble with the tracking with the characters. It's like getting stuck on things and not moving, and frustrates the hell out of me.
Are you on PC or console?
PC.
Oh, that's the problem. The PC
I don't do
versions,
console anymore.
the
I don't do.
PC, the PC versions have some issues because the games weren't originally made for PC.
I know.
They were originally only made like the first one was original Xbox exclusive.
Hmm.
It was on PC at the get go. That's why console is great. So, under her leadership, the cult would greatly grow. The path would also maintain ties with numerous other groups, including a group of pirate. The mother would provide information about good raiding spots to in return for loyalty and wealthy backers whom the mother had convinced to enrich the path. Evidence also existed that the mother used the path to cover for a smuggling operation, which in turn helped to enrich the cult. That's not terrifying. What the
That's
hell?
not every cult ever.
Yes, right? Yeah, pretty much. So eventually, the mother had a vision of a great ship for the path to travel across the galaxy and spread their message throughout the galaxy. The path began its construction. The named it the Gaze Electric. The mother found a subgroup of the path called the Children, who she presided over. The Children traveled off to Dona and stole, though they claimed liberated Force artifacts, so they would not allow others to use the Force. They also did so by any means necessary, and often resulted to espionage and violence.
Yeah, spread their
Yeah,
message. More like, okay, we're starting to pick clean this area. Time to move on.
right. Oh
Hit and
no,
run.
I
Hit and
accidentally
run.
I killed a guy to get this artifact. Oh well. Like
Wait, what?
what?
Gaze Electric, there was concept art for Return of the Jedi. What?
Was there?
Oh, it's based off of the MC-30 frigate.
Oh. Oh yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, okay.
That's why. By the way, this is the first time I'm actually seeing the Gaze Electric. I
Well,
thought it would
yeah,
be
because
more
we've only read
dome
the book.
shape.
Yeah. I mean, we've listened to it rather than see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
But anyway. So at some point, Axel Greylark, the son of the politician Kron Greylark, and the distinguished Greylark family, was cut out of his inheritance after a series of misdeeds. He resorted to smuggling for money, and at one point was sent to the path to smuggle ship parts for the Gauge Electric to them for Ne Mandine. He had stayed because they did not worship the Jedi like the rest of the galaxy, having lost his father in an incident that he blamed the Jedi for.
Wow,
Again,
that's
like you're blaming them for things that they don't control. It's the guy.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. Anyway,
Yeah.
at one point he subscribed to their belief that the Force would be free, but eventually fell out of it. However, he stayed with the path because the mother, she had taught him to remember the pain within him every time he would start to forget his father and become the Greylark his mother wanted him to be. Eventually had learning to need to use the pain. She eventually sent him back to Coruscant, close to the Galactic Senate, because she realized he had been more helpful there, but whenever she needed him, he returned, answering her every beck and call. Yeah.
A little simp.
Pretty much. No, you're not wrong, because it's not, I don't know if I wouldn't say he has romantic feelings, but he definitely has, like, more, she is like a quote-unquote mother figure to him, because he doesn't see his own mother as a mother figure anymore.
Well, yeah, to be fair, his mother is more politician than parent.
Correct. Absolutely. You're not wrong.
She is a bit cold-hearted like that. I mean, she tries, oh, why don't you understand you're a politician now, not a mother.
Yeah. So
Emery and Arano, those were the planet
Emery and
names.
Arano, okay. They both start with E, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I was right about that.
Yeah. They did, sorry.
I was right about that. Cool. All right. Well, that is part 1 of the Path of the Open Hand. We'll dive more into their history next episode, going into a little bit more of the Battle of Jeddah and all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. Do you have any final thoughts on this part?
Oh, we only scratched the surface of the craziness this causes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we do. We definitely only scratched the surface, because it gets a little bit more crazy. Not even a little. It gets complete chaotic. Because
there's more.
Oh yeah, just wait till genocide. That they tried to do. Yeah, it gets bad. Anyway, well, everybody, we will see you next week. Thank you for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic!